Hi everyone, my name's James Ivey.
Hi, Paul Drew.
From the Studio Rats.
Yes. Why are you here? What the hell is this?
I do wonder sometimes. So, back in November 24,
Yep.
you put together an order for your ultimate Super Strat.
Yes, but there was a reason why I did that. Because, you can hold that up, because I got this in as a trade for a guitar, and it got me thinking about Super Strats. And
Can't have it.
I know. It's and I think I've had quite a few Super Strat style guitars, and I've never really found the right one. Then that came along. I went, oh, this is great, because I never think the whole sort of humbucker and single coils works until that one. And I thought, well, maybe I should relook at this. That changed my mind on Super Strats, and I wanted to find the ultimate Super Strat, because it is, especially for the job that I do here with reviewing gear. Some people say, oh, can you play that with a humbucker, or can you play that with single coils? And it's one guitar that does the whole job.
Now, it's fair to say that of the two of us, I think I'm the humbucker monkey and you're the single coil monkey.
Without doubt.
Because I like big rock and roll noises and you like thin, weedy Telecaster type noises. Just to throw that one in the soup. But when you said you were getting rid of this guitar,
Yeah.
I believe I jumped all over it like a rash. Do rashes jump? But you know what I mean.
Yes.
Mixing my metaphors. This is now my number one.
Oh yeah, it's a great guitar.
It's a phenomenal guitar.
It's a great guitar. So then what I decided to do was to go down the whole rabbit hole of Super Strat. So, well, I started with that Suhr that now Alice got anyway.
Yeah.
We can link up here to the other video. And then I was thinking, well, what is the ultimate Super Strat? And I thought, well, maybe we could do a whole video series on the ultimate Super Strat. So I ordered a James Tyler. Let's pan over to all the guitars that we've got here. So we've got a James Tyler, we've got a Tom Anderson Icon, and we've got a Suhr Classic S Polonia.
Right.
And as the wild card, we've got a Shabat Lynx HSS. So 4 guitars, not including yours, because I've done all the playing for them so people can hear the difference. What we're going to do is I'm going to play some stuff and James is going to play some stuff, and then James can say what he likes about certain guitars. I'm not sure whether this is going to be one video or 2 videos, and we'll come to a conclusion at the end because there's quite a lot to get through. But should we put that one down?
Yes.
I think maybe let's pick up the guitars acoustically, first of all. You can play through them and you can tell me what you think about each one acoustically.
Yep.
So I think what we should probably do is to talk about the feel of them and the sound of them acoustically, first of all, because I think that's going to be one of the most important things.
Yeah. Now, instantly, I've picked this up, and it has, it's got the most open acoustic sound to it.
Yeah, so when you picked this up earlier, you did the same thing. You went like, yeah, it's a very resonant.
In a bright resonant, if that makes any sense at all, like a bright resonant. This is incredibly light. I mean, stupidly light.
Yeah.
The neck joint reminds me of the Ibanez Satriani. And it's got that kind of really small, kind of dainty feel about it.
Well, the clever thing about this is if we hold it up to the camera, what they've done here is the neck actually goes into the body in
a channel.
That's a good way of describing it. So it only requires 2 bolts on the neck.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant design. It's like it's pretty much. Do you know what? I'm going to say this now.
Yeah.
That guitar is almost too easy. It plays too easy.
I said when I first played this, I almost want the action I want it to be more difficult. I want to have to play harder. I almost want this to fight back a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's a bit too easy in a lovely way.
So with the feel of that, I think if I was going to do some recording somewhere, that is a guitar that I will pick because I know that it's so easy to play. It sounds great, which we'll demonstrate in a minute. But I would be frightened with that guitar. If I played that all the time, if I picked up another guitar, I wouldn't be able to play as well on other guitars. And I know that sounds really stupid because it's almost like that's a guitar you want. You want the guitar that's really easy to play, sounds great, but then when you go to another guitar, you're going to go, God, this guitar feels a bit... Everything's going to compare to that guitar, and that guitar is too easy for me. So that's how you feel about that. Sounds resonant. Try that one.
Right. Oh! I mean, the neck on this is chunkier. It's got a more vintage feely neck.
Yep. So this is £7 exactly. That's £6.6.
Right. So
that is the lightest guitar because of the wood.
Yeah.
It's a limited edition Polonia. They don't make it anymore. Rings like a bell,
but not the same way that one does. Now, I've only tried this one for the first time today, but this feels...
That, to me, the whole body resonates. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
You can feel it, sort of. Let's go with feel, weight, and all that sort of stuff. That weighs about £7, £7.2.
The neck on that is much more vintage feeling. Of the three guitars so far, I prefer the neck of the Tom Anderson. That just
I thought you would.
So smooth.
I thought you would. That's my favourite so far. But anyway, we'll talk about this and we'll talk about the rest in a minute. Right. Lastly, the James Tyler, the most expensive.
Okay. Let's get the two elephants in the room out of the way first. What's this about? It's like they forgot the number of pot tops they need or knobs they needed and went to Maplin's and just went, oh, that'll do. Sorry, no. And I will admit the headstock is growing on me.
Yeah.
But it's
a headstock that only a mother could love.
Yeah, it is a grower, not a shower. But I mean, the neck on this is vintage feel chunk, modern feel finish.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But this has got almost for me the best bits of those three acoustically.
Yeah. Yeah. So originally I ordered a hollow body James Tyler. I didn't like the hollow body, so James Tyler swapped over the body and for a solid body. It's still great thing about James Tyler is all their woods are very lightweight.
Yeah. This is
right. Shall I explain about that black knob?
Please do.
So that is the preamp knob. Yes, I agree. It is a bit strange on the body, but that's how you expect the James Tyler to be. So I think you could show me that scratch plate or just that part there, and I'd go, oh yes, James Tyler.
The other thing that screams
80s.
Well, Roland Ready Strat, quite frankly, is the three buttons.
I never even looked at it like that. Yeah, the Roland GK2 Strat pickup.
Yeah.
Yes, I'd never even.
I mean, they were good guitars. They were phenomenal guitars.
Right.
Because you could get a custom shop Strat that just happened to have the GK pickup in with all the switching and stuff.
Yeah.
But it does look like that. You know, it does look.
So let's quickly go over the hardware comparisons. So most of them, actually all of them, have a Goto 510 style bridge. Mm-hmm. So with the James Tyler, you get the James Tyler saddles there.
Yeah.
With the Tom Anderson, it's, even though the trem is branded Tom Anderson, it's a Goto 510, that sort of thing. Pickups wise, everything's got its original pickups. So on the James Tyler, we've got James Tyler pickups. On the Shabat, we've got Lola pickups. On the Tom Anderson, we've got Tom Anderson pickups. And on the Suhr, we've got Suhr pickups.
Now, one of these has got a bridge. Which one is it?
That
one. That one. That Suhr. I love it, but the way I naturally, where my hand naturally sits is somewhere on the bridge.
Yeah.
Not palm muting in a kind of... But I can fairly quickly move from one position to the other. These, they're not razor blades, but they've got a bite to them.
They're sharp, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're sharp. Well, everything else isn't. All the other guitars aren't. They've been...
Now, that could be, because these are quite a long... I'd say this is going to be next to impossible to see, but there's still quite a lot of grub screw protruding on these.
No, it's different. I mean, if you feel these, the screws are sticking out, but they're not sharp.
No, nothing like.
They're not sharp.
Whereas these are quite sharp. They've got... You'd get used... I mean, we are talking...
Yes, but if you're spending this amount of money on guitars, this is the thing we're trying to show people.
If I'd gone like that and gone, I'd be whinging royally.
Yeah.
But that's still quite a thing. I'm quite aware that that's going to give me calluses after a couple of hours of playing.
Yeah. Can we just say that the frets on all of them
are phenomenal. absolutely
beautiful. I would almost say that the Shabat and the James Tyler have the best fretwork.
Yes, and I quite like the way James Tyler, they're not scalloped.
It's the way that they roll the fingerboard.
Yeah, and it's lovely.
Yeah,
it's really nice. I mean, let's face it, I would play any of these 4 guitars, 5 including the Schecter.
Yeah.
I'd happily play any of these guitars at a gig and be more than wildly enthusiastic about doing so.
Okay, so let's talk about just finishes, and then we'll get on to some sound examples.
Yeah.
Poly finish.
Right.
Nitro.
Yeah.
I don't know what the finish is, but it's a matte finish, but it's
satiny, matty, lovely.
Yeah, but it's it's a non-nitro finish.
Yeah.
And on this Tom Anderson, because it's a Series 1, I think they call it distressed.
Yeah, it's you're going to really struggle to see that, but there are cracks.
It's nitro. It's another nitro finish. That's an added option. It's an added extra if you want a Tom Anderson. I think they send the body away to be sprayed at a different factory.
Right.
So yes, that's a nitro finish with some sort of lacquer checking in it. Right. Okay. So we've done the basic
acoustic test and how they.
Yeah. What you think about each one? So far, your favourite would be?
I think it's the James Tyler.
Okay.
It's between those two.
Between these two. Okay.
Yeah.
For you. Okay.
Yeah.
Should we plug them in?
Yep.
I think it's almost like if you're in a guitar shop, this is this sort of test, isn't it? It's this sort of test. You're going, I want a Super Strat, and you've got a choice between these 4, and you're picking them up, and this is your initial reaction. I mean, I know what my favourite is. I know what my 2 favourites are.
These 2.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt. I was going to save that to the end. Without a doubt, these 2 are my favourites. I think this one sounds the most unique.
Yeah, carry on. Yeah.
It's like a really sort of precision. It's got that 80s sort of tone about it that you can, especially with the clean tones, which I'll demonstrate in the video. That is my favourite vintage sort of sounding. That is the guitar that I think I would take out to a gig.
Yeah.
This is the guitar that I would use in a recording session.
We kind of started down a road, off camera, a road of trying to describe guitars as cars. And abandoned that because it was rubbish. But actually, do you know what I think it is?
What?
That is a modern Ferrari. That's a modern Ferrari with modern components. Everything's done to the nth degree in detail. This is not necessarily in the actual how they do it, but how it feels and how it plays. That is a precision-made, everything's done to a millionth of a millimetre Ferrari. This is a vintage 250 GTO. The guitar, the car that you wished you could afford.
Yeah.
But has got all that vintage vibe. Okay, so it's a new instrument because this was custom made for you, wasn't it? Both these ones were custom ordered.
Yeah.
But it feels like a vintage Ferrari.
Yeah.
It's got, it's got its foibles and it wants to be treated in a certain way. This one needs a bit more aggression.
I wonder if that's to do with it's a relic, so you feel a little bit less precious about it. while the that Suhr is all sort of finished perfectly.
Yeah.
You want to sort of handle it in a sort of with kit gloves and sort of hang it back on the stand. That one there, just sort of throw it about, and it sort of feels like a vintage instrument.
It feels like it. The funny thing is that the neck feel I prefer by a country mile is the Tom Anderson, because it's smooth and silky and lovely and doesn't get in the way.
Yeah.
But I think that again adds to it's too easy. Not that any of these are hard to play. That none of them are. But they just give you a little bit more to think about and a little bit more to fight back with.
Yeah.
Wow, that's got us in trouble.
So have we got a conclusion?
No. I think conclusions are dangerous, aren't they? Because you could give a good guitar player, and I do not put myself in that category, any of these 4 or 5 guitars, and they're going to play them beautifully, and they're going to go, those are fantastic.
Yeah.
But in this very, very unique situation that we find ourselves in right here, right now, that actually you could find yourself in a music shop. If you go to a high-end shop like, you know, the nice room at Anderton's or Peach or the nice room at Toman or, you know, any of the...
Well, guitars.
Yeah.
You know.
GG's got some great guitars. You would also find yourself in that situation where you can't buy them all, although someone has. You have to kind of put it down to a thing, and it does come down to gut and how the guitar makes you feel and how you play it. They're all fabulous instruments, and I'm sure if in isolation any of us picked these up, we'd go, that'll do, phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
But because we've got that unique situation, or that music shop style situation, where you can go, well, let's try that, or that, or that, or that.
Well, I can only keep 2 of these. This was a really, really expensive exercise, where, like, you know, I've had to. All of these have been bought, so yeah, I've got to sell a couple of these, and the 2 that I'm going to keep. Hold that one up. Are the Shabat and the James Tyler. They're the 2 that I'm definitely going to keep. Anyway, I hope you got something out of that.
What are the takeaways from this? I think
there is no takeaway. It's just preference. I mean, you would go for what guitar would you buy out of all of them? If you could only choose one, let's do that. If you could only choose one guitar,
this one.
I'd probably agree. I'd probably agree. I think that is.
It's got character. Yeah,
that's the word. It's got character. So I think we both agree. Our favourite out of that is the Shabat. Yeah. So which is the wild card, because it's not your typical LA session player
brand,
Super Strat brand, which is, you know, the 80s. We're talking about Tom Anderson. We're talking about Suhr, 80s, and we're talking about James Tyler. Absolutely phenomenal guitars. So this isn't a sponsored video, by the way.
Who would sponsor us?
Well, it was an expensive. It was a really, really expensive test that I did. Project, and now I've got to sell some guitars to
fund the next project.
So there you go. Shabat Guitars, absolutely incredible. It's the winner, I would say.
The daft thing is,
are we ever going to end this video? That's the daft thing.
We will at some point. You'll just cut me off.